Scientific Advertising by Claude Hopkins. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Samuel and I want to make self-growth normal. If you want to make self-growth normal, because I don't want to do it alone, then make sure to smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. It helps with SEO and ranking and all this other stuff, and I really appreciate it because so much work goes into making these videos. Anyway, I heard about this book from a guy named Dan Lok in his book FU Money. He's a pretty big guy on YouTube. Some people know about him through his self-deprecating yet kind of harsh reality amplifying Facebook ads. He said it marked kind of a turning point in the way in his life and the way he looked at advertising and his approach. He now has millions of followers and makes millions of dollars, and he enjoys doing it. So I'm gonna give you guys a warning here and say that this is a heavy book. It's written to teach you how to think about advertising. A guy named David Ogilvy, apparently one of the OGs of advertising, he said that this book, it changed the course of his life, and no one should go into advertising without at least smashing the like button if you haven't already, and then reading it 7 times. No one should do it without reading it 7 times. That's how important this book is. It's considered like a must-read for marketing and advertising. Because throughout the book, this author is like, he's like,
advertising is now a science. It's legit and it's super easy, and here's why everyone
sucks at it.
And here's why also some people are incredible at it.
I really just love that so many of our results have to do with our thought process and what we are thinking about when we're doing these things. The book throws new lights on subjects like salesmanship, copywriting, conversions, picture ads, written ads. He stresses that you should make every single word count because, you know, that's resourcefulness. And you should also recognize that everybody is super selfish. It's kind of depressing to think about, but everyone just assume that everyone is focused on their wants. I mean, you know, it's human nature. And you could be like,
everyone knows that, Sam. Why are you telling us what we already know?
But you'd be surprised how many people hear things every day like, you're amazing, or you can do this. And they forget that they are amazing and that they can do this, and they go their whole lives never believing in themselves because they never reminded themselves of the truth. A lot of principles in the book are emphasized in that every word counts. I think that's part of the reason this is such a small book. The audiobook's only like 2.5 hours long. And when books like this can become less or more or less true because of things like technology and the internet, it's not always easy, in my experience at least, to kind of determine how true they still are. And if not, like, what changed and how much? Now, that on top of the material in this book is science. This includes so many other studies, like many other books, but this book was written like literally 90-something years ago. So I wouldn't be surprised if lots of how studies are even done or explained has changed a lot. I think that lots of things, for example, in this book, like sampling, like giving out free samples of things, that has exponentially grown in use as a strategy over the last century. Giving out free samples is one of the most effective tools in marketing that I've ever heard of, and the global market is completely belted by free samples of everything everywhere, especially digital things. That and the effectiveness of test campaigns. Just testing. There's a world-class business coach, like an elite guy. His name's Jay Abraham. I never really looked that much into him, but I do know that he's worth billions of dollars. He is obsessed with testing. The author considers the testing the court of last resort. You can easily answer lots of questions that you probably already have about your advertising and your product and all sorts of things by using test campaigns. There are moments too where the author's like, there are just way too many details on this subject to put into the book. And I think that alone is an example of, you know, practicing what he preaches. And at the end of the book, you are encouraged to focus on the positive and
not the negative when it comes to advertising.
a lot of the negativity in the world, at least in America. I think some of it, when it comes to culture and whatnot, I think a lot of that has to do with how much marketers actually focus on the positives and not the negatives. What's weird is that so many people do this, that what they are not telling you is blinding you to what they are trying to avoid. The possibility that you will see the flaws in their product. With these reviews, one of the many things I try to do is help people to make decisions on the books that they're getting. I remember remember Jeff Bezos saying in an interview once that, there was a publisher when Amazon started having reviews of stuff, and the publisher was like,
you should delete the negative reviews so you can sell more books that way.
and this is a reason Amazon is so profitable. Here is just an example of the genius in his logic, in my opinion, is he said, I don't believe that. Because when it comes to Amazon, we don't make money when we make a sale. We make money when we help a customer make a purchase decision. That's just another example of how things have changed. Like, we customers have way more leverage than we used to when it comes to business in general. We are like the new boss, as I said it in my What Would Google Do review like yesterday. Quotes, advertising is multiplied salesmanship. Whatever people do, they do to please themselves. Perhaps pride in our ads has an influence, but every departure from those principles adds to our selling cost. When a man knows that something belongs to him, something with his name on it, he will make an effort to get it, even if the thing is a trifle. Platitudes and generalities roll off of the human understanding like water to a duck. If a claim is worth making, make it in the most impressive way. Repetition is an economy. Names that tell stories have been worth millions of dollars. Direction 1. I recommend this book at least to anyone who's looking to get into the fundamentals of advertising, especially the thinking, like the thought process, the approach of advertising. I remember Gary Keller saying, I think in his book, The One Thing, that masters are always going over the basics. Direction 2. If you like this book, I recommend checking out Influence by Dr. Robert Cialdini. That book is just wow. One word. Wow. Well, actually, I guess that's 4 words. But that book is phenomenal. It's one of the best persuasion marketing books I've ever listened to. Hands down. With all the hands down. With all the hands, all the palms of the hands on the floor. Ideally, all of the eyes would be on the pages of that book. Scientific Advertising by Claude Hopkins. There's a link in the description if you guys want to check it out and maybe read the reviews. That and all the other books that I mentioned in this video. If there are any other books that you guys want me to check out and review, please let me know in the comments below. Also, let me know if you checked out this book and you liked it. But hey, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, because I don't know why people watch this far into my videos and they don't subscribe. But if you have subscribed and you want to turn it up just a notch and join the notification squad to receive a notification every time I drop a new video, that would mean the world to me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. You can find me everywhere, and I will see you then.